without further ado, I gotta wonder further ados and further adon'ts. I gotta wonder a couple things. There's still experiments I want to do with this turntable, but I figured some things out, which I'll get to right away, actually. Um, Let me pop this in streaming and recording. That should be the right thing. I always get about this close to accidentally posting the stream key. That would be a big mistake. Alright, I'll give a minute for people to percolate in, and then I want to talk about what I did to fix this. Hey, Mopac, hey, Dragon? Yes. Alright, I'm adjusting my windows here. Alright, we're in Olive. Everyone that knows should know. This is Olive, obviously. This is Butler F. Seahawks Industrial Park. Today, stated goals, we probably need to get back to scenery. I've spent a lot of time just doing ancillary AI stuff. If we can get the scenery done up to, like, this road, that would be pretty great, actually. But we do need to do all the grass and stuff, and we need to fill in this area here, which I think this is going to be grass. Okay, yeah, so let's talk about the turntable. For the people that were here for the bonus stream, and that have watched the bonus stream, hopefully it made it into the playlist. Sometimes I forget, I give it like a 50-50 that I remember to put it in the playlist or not. So, first things first, I probably need to delete this middle track mark because it's unnecessary. So I'm going to do that. Goodbye. Yeah, so here's the thing. I found something that, you know when you have a problem, doing pretty good. You know when you have a problem, and you go, you spend, some time trying to fix it, and you go, there's got to be an easier way to do this. There is most of the time, and in this case, that came in the form of a new driver command called, let me go and find it, called set selected signal state. That is a Sally sells seashells moment. It does exactly what it says it does, which is you can select a signal, so like this one, and set it. So you'll notice I moved the signals around. That's completely sort of aesthetic. It's not really, it doesn't affect anything. Okay, S1. But, if you recall, the problem was this signal here would not turn green to let the locomotive off the table. What was the solution? I force it green. My first thought was use an interlocking tower, but that's unnecessary. In fact, I can just use a command that sets it to green. And in fact, I might even be able to leave it green all the time. I didn't try that. I had it, the engine pull out of the turntable, set it to, turn the turntable, obviously. Set it to green, leave, and then on the way out, set it back to automatic so that it wouldn't mess with the next trains that were coming on the turntable, the next locomotives. And that seemed to work. I tested it once or twice under a couple of different circumstances to sort of see if I could get it to fail. I mean, obviously I can, but if I do it right, it works. And that's a big deal. So we can talk about AI today. We can talk about it. I want to spend more time doing scenery work because we've spent the last, 4 hours, 5 hours of work on Tolbrin doing AI. Save that in case I forget. Save what? The save what? The command, it's saved. It's good. I got it. I downloaded it. And I know it exists. So on the off chance that I lose it for whatever reason, like I have to reinstall Trainz, heaven forbid, F40 forbid, then I will be able to just go look it up again. It wasn't that hard to find. In fact, I think I would wager that there are better versions of that command, but that's the one I'm using right now. In fact, I should probably go through and see if I can find other versions of that command. Things that do a similar thing. But, maybe you have a couple more interesting features. Oh, thanks for the cold wet nose on my leg, Lafayette. Thank you. Um, does the olive local work now? Well, it doesn't. Okay. No, but not because of any problem. Just because I never programmed it further than a coupling to the caboose. Um, if you were to have Fanrek in the Discord, you would be able to have seen me post a picture of number 28 coupled up to the caboose, and then the gif of George Bush in front of the mission accomplished sign. Uh, so, yeah, if you have access to that, you'd see that. That's a thing. This isn't specific encouragement directed towards anybody. I'm just saying that's where I posted it. So, yeah. As Gloria said, don't feel pressure. Doom, 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 doom. So that just led me down a train of thought. Um, the ultimate question of when you hear that riff and you're not sure if it's under pressure or Ice Ice Baby for a minute, and then just thinking about Queen and the biopic that came out a while ago, and then that leads me to thinking about the Oppenheimer biopic that the first poster came out for, which that's kind of crazy. Looking forward, I'm probably gonna go see. I might see that in theaters, but I will at least see it because that is crazy. Uh, bro, that's so 2000s. Ice Ice Bowie. So so 2000s. Under Pressure came out when again? Let's. Okay, we gotta finish. We gotta fill these holes in here. Stop, bonk. You. Okay. I just mowed that lawn. You. You all better be grateful. It looks pretty damn good too. Also, I went a little nuts with the clippers on the briars. Yeah. Um. But hope everyone else is having a good week. I am. Yeah. I just want to get these. I just want to get these splines in as best I can. I know I'm putting them in on the wrong side. It doesn't. We'll come around the whole thing. That's for sure. Yeah. Let's fill this in. Got my new replacement phone in the mail. Waiting on a payday so I can order some car parts. Didn't get the chance to get tickets to Springsteen at the TD Garden, but I might get the chance to pick up tickets to see Bruce Springsteen in Philly because all those tickets are going on sale at the same time. They're not using any sort of fancy system. So I might get the chance to just snag those with everybody else. What's the building at the dock that has graffiti on it? Are you going to try to reskin it? That is... I think I covered the graffiti with something, didn't I? It's, Oh yeah, it's this one. Yeah, I mean, you can't really see the graffiti anymore. This is, oops, wrong thing. It is, Dom Koljawi. Okay, you're gonna have to, like, take a screenshot or something, because I can't pronounce that, and it's insane to spell. But there's your Qid. Pause the stream and do your do. But I mean, it'll be fine if you don't. You don't have to reskin this. There are way more things that are deserving of reskins for this route than that building. When did spray paint? When was spray paint invented? It's a good question. I know there's like that race in the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy that is the only race in the universe to have developed the aerosol deodorant, so the spray can of deodorant, before the wheel, which I don't know how you shape a can of aerosol deodorant. Oh, wait, were the cans all square? Baby, do you remember that? Do you remember the bit uh, in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy where they land on the planet with the nose people? And the guide says the planet's the only one to develop the spray deodorant before the wheel. Do you remember that? Do you? Because there was a can of the spray deodorants. Did you notice that? Were they square? I can't remember. Okay. Uh, they kind of looked like dildos. Okay, good to know. Um, Cans of aerosol paint were invented in 1949. Interesting. That's Polish, which is why the name is so long. I mean, there are things in other languages that have long names, but if we want to stereotype the Poles into having long names, I feel like that's not the Polish name stereotype that you can really go for easily. It's just like having something that's completely unpronounceable and like all of the most bizarre consonants back to back, like, you know, C's and Y's and J's and Q's and K's all smashed together. Uh, so yeah, I mean that's the stereotype you can go for. And then you have Achilles, who I'm pretty sure is part Polish, and his last name is Wakefield. So first of all, Jenna docks the hell out of him, even though his full name is on the podcast. Uh, do you want a social security number? I can give you guys that too. Uh, I don't actually have his social security number. Why would I have someone else's social security number? Excuse me while I just steal identities of all the other cast members from the podcast. If I could do that and I could pretend to be all of them, I might be able to make a podcast pretty easily every week. Oh, this is going to be a weird one. This is going to be tough to make a podcast this week, actually, I'm just realizing. Most of the people that I borrow as, like, stand-ins are out of town, so. What'd you say, BB? Oh. I'm glad I can answer your question. You ever have those moments where you think someone's about to ask a very specific question, so you, like, preempt it and give them an answer, and you feel really good about yourself, and that wasn't the question they were going to ask? I did that earlier. But then, like an hour went by and the person came back and asked me that same question, and I just quoted my message from earlier, and I was like, I knew it! I knew that question was coming! But I got a laugh out of the two of us, which was nice because we're working on a project that's crushing our souls, so. I'll potentially be there, maybe. Well, I mean, guests are one thing. I'm talking about the people that the horsemen and the other, the regular cast members. Or the semi-regular cast members. Posted her bank account number on Instagram, nice. I mean, in fairness, just the account number doesn't tell people very much, but it's not something you want to be giving out. I say in fairness. No, it's still dumb. It's dumb no matter how you slice it. But at least, like, it isn't the worst thing you can do. There are far worse things. Hey, Shoreline. Just have 4 guests, yeah. Total chaos podcast. Alright. I mean, that's every podcast, though. We have really dialed back to just the podcast and this show and the community playdates, and part of that is just because people have been busy. Part of that is because I have some stuff I need to upload, and I've been busy. And part of that is because of the whole debacle with Roads Online. Like, I just don't feel like playing it until everything's all settled. The dust is settled with the spline update, etc. It's coming soon, TM. You know? But like everything of mine is just slowed way down. I keep thinking about the trading cards. Just got a message from an old friend. Uh, who I used to play Minecraft with on this very channel. Um, how are you busy in summer? Well, I've got a house, and this is the time when you fix things. House and a girlfriend whose birthday's in the summer, I guess. You don't make me busy. Yeah. Well, you're not an excuse for me being busy. What? I just said you aren't. Okay. All the things that I need to do for you. All those things that I do for you. All two of them.
Damn things you do for me.
Oh man. But no, summer's a busy time. I mean, you got stuff to do. It's the paradox of busyness. Did I talk? I think I sort of dug into this last time, which is something that I literally made up on the spot. But it's like if you're free, then you can go and do things. But when you go and do those things, like you sign up to do things, or like say you're going to be there for things, then you're busy. You know, you can't keep yourself free because you use that free time to get busy. Yeah, nope, reskin of that building. Well, that's a shame. Not what I was getting at, but sure. Um, what? What? Bonk again. You're up to 2 bonks. There we go. Let's see, where are we? Oh man, we're getting up there. I don't know why I decided to do this whole thing at once, and why I didn't do it all to begin with, but I feel like I know better. Nope, reskin. Nope. Everyone has seen the trailers for Nope, right? I don't know how I feel about that movie. I don't care enough to go see it. I just don't know how I feel about it. No, what I said was if somebody asked me to go see it, I wouldn't say no. Like I wouldn't go. I'm not gonna go out of my way to go see it. But if somebody was like, "Hey, you want to go?" Oh wait, I realize what I'm doing here. If somebody was like, "Hey, you want to go see Nope?" Yeah, I would say sure, okay. Um, what? You'd say no? Oh, okay. I kind of thought that's where that was going, but I also wasn't sure if there was another actual reason why you wouldn't. I was like, what other actors do you hate? Speaking of which, we gotta make a podcast.
I asked you when I wanted to make it.
Yeah, you did. What, do you think we could have made it between now and then?
Maybe.
No. I had to mow the damn lawn. Okay, sure. You've been dead since you got home. I'm not gonna make a podcast with a zombie. I wish I could understand you, but the last movie I saw was about the Smurfs. Well, nothing wrong with the Smurfs. I remember watching the Smurfs growing up. Oh right, yeah. When did that come out? I don't even know. Oh, enough yet. All right. All right. I need to go through and put in the shrubs as well, but going up to. Oh man. All right. Let's keep going. Death is just another obstacle in life. That's the thing about life. No one makes it out alive. It's just another What's the thing? Time is but a window, death is but a doorway. I'll be back. That's this Vigo from, or not, yeah, Vigo from Ghostbusters 2.
Eagle.
The baby.
The living things.
The wee baby Seamus.
The living things.
We need to watch more Archer. Okay. But instead, last night we watched King Kong versus Godzilla. Godzilla versus Kong. Godzilla and Kong versus something else. Spoilers. Spoilers? Jesus. Life like it.
Half the world has not seen that movie.
Oh yeah, but what about the other half? Because you have COVID. You have coronavirus like Joe Biden. If people haven't heard that, Joe Biden does in fact have COVID. Anyway. Yeah, I mean, this is like the most boring thing I could do, and I'm doing it at the beginning of the stream. I know, like, people come around for this. People come around for this and, like, the random conversation about whatever. And then I step off and do spreadsheets, and everybody leaves. And that makes total sense, because, Jesus, they're boring. I see, like, two people that could be interested. Or just watch me pull my hair out. I mean, here's the thing, like, it's entertaining to watch someone just pull their hair out at something, if you understand the thing they're pulling their hair out about. Otherwise, it's just like man yells at cloud. You're watching me be frustrated, and you don't know why. Now, I am going to get back to bending the AI to my will, and I still do want to spend time today doing that, because, you know, I like it, but I like the spreadsheets. One makes me go to sleep. Yeah. But it's my favorite part, and it shouldn't be, because it's terrible, and boring and awful. But it is my favorite part of root building is doing the spreadsheets and doing the AI. And the thing is, when we were doing the modular railroad, and I wish I had gotten further into that, and maybe I should just go back to dedicate myself to making Trainz content and revive the modular railroad and do route reviews again. And oh man, I was supposed to look at Kevin's route. Totally forgot. I've been so carried away with the you know, with the AI and stuff. I haven't even thought about it. He sent me it like 2 weeks ago. Okay. Um, we need the shrubbery. Anyway, it is fairly entertaining watching people pull their hair out of things that you understand. And I'm not saying like I understand chess, but watching people that are good at chess rate and break down games of people that are really bad at chess is endlessly entertaining. Um, what's the patch of blue in each field is to mark where the farmhouse has to go. I was just using it as a marker. So yeah, there's your answer on that front. And most of the fields have that. Some of them I missed. I really tried to make sure they all had it, but I was not 100% on that. I think I probably got like 90% of the fields marked properly. The heck does that sound? Um, I missed a spot with the grass. But I don't have to go as hard with the grass and the shrubs as I do, especially over here where nobody's going to go. Um, and I feel like that's something that I often neglect when I'm doing these is I do a lot of work in areas that are basically irrelevant. Um, and it's like a strength and a weakness, you know. It's like the thing you put on your job application is, oh, what is your greatest weakness? Oh, I work too hard. You know, I just can't get enough of working. Can't stop. I just every day, every shift, I'll just take all the shifts. I'll work, 60 hours a week. It's my biggest weakness. I'm so sorry for you, future new boss of mine, that I'm gonna work every hour of my life for you. This is what capitalism makes you do. Turn into I gotta go back and work 60 hours in the spreadsheet mines. But I mean, being able to acknowledge your actual weaknesses is important, but also being able to like spin your weaknesses into strengths. It's like, oh well, I do this, therefore, you know, I am not good at delegating. I take on too many tasks myself, but I try to, it's because I want to pay attention to detail to all those things at once, and you can spin that around. I don't think any employer ever believes that line. Yeah, I mean that's probably right. But I mean, see, that's the thing about job interviews. They're half genuine, like, let me get to know this person, right? As an employer. And the other half is like, let's see if they pass the litmus test of like, let's see if they pass the test of like, do you know how to answer the job interview questions? It's kind of like it's kind of a, it's a duet, it's a dance. It is, there are some pretty standard questions, and they expect a certain caliber of answers. Some people will say, never lie on your job interview about, whatever. And yeah, no, don't lie, but it's about, again, wordsmithing your weaknesses into strengths, or that sort of thing. I mean, there are some things where you could probably be less than truthful about. If you get fired from a place, but you don't think you were rightfully terminated, then you're probably not going to say like, "Oh, I got fired from my last job." Uh, you know, you could just say I left, and sort of leave your future employer, hopefully, to fill in the blanks. Um, Mew has been rejected from $2 Generals and a Walmart and a Home Depot. Recently, I mean, I don't know what you're telling them, but if you're getting to the interview stage and then botching it there, you really need to look into like how to respond to basic interview questions, I guess. Unless you're just showing up in like underwear, that'll end a job interview pretty quick. There are certain things that you should be doing beyond knowing how to answer the questions. Obviously, there's more to a job interview than answering the questions. I mean, phone interviews, not so much, but being punctual, uh, having sort of confidence about yourself. Fake it till you make it. Obviously, you might not feel that confident, but you have to act that confident. You have to put on that veneer. Uh, you need to pretend like you can be competent. Even if you don't know what you're doing yet. Hell, you could make that one of your weaknesses into strengths. Like, sorry, my weakness in this field is that I don't know a lot about it, but I am willing to learn, and I'm willing to put in the extra effort to figure that thing out. And that's an easy one. That's an easy flip that around, because school doesn't teach you so much. It teaches you how to learn. It teaches you how to find the answers. You know, uh, how to study and how to do reading comprehension and how to, hell, if you go through school and you're just looking stuff up, that in and of itself is a skill. Uh, that is I mean, you talk about like IT people and coders and whatever, and it's like, oh, I don't feel like I belong. I'm getting like wicked bad, uh, whatchamacallit, imposter syndrome because I don't know what I'm doing. I just look stuff up and I copy other people's code and I tweak it and make it work into mine. And it's like, yeah, but that's the job though. At the end of the day, as long as you have a piece of code that works, at the end of the day, as long as you have a functioning product, as long as you know, get the other guy's computer back online. And again, I'm touching on this from a more technical oriented job sort of point of view, but it goes for just about any field. If you can look stuff up and get answers in a timely manner, you're worlds ahead of a lot of people. Even if you don't know anything to start with, knowing what to look up is a skill, and being able to parse that information and pull out the useful stuff, that's a skill. Um, and yeah, you might not put Google Foo on your resume, but you can put something along the lines of, "I'm a quick learner," you know. I take initiative. I I can I'm a problem solver. You know, and it doesn't really matter how you get those solutions as long as they're good solutions and they work. I mean, your boss isn't going to care if you're bribing some guy to, I mean, your boss isn't going to care if you're bribing some guy to give you the Krabby Patty formula as long as you come back with the formula. Uh, Especially if your boss is Plankton, who would probably do the same thing. But the point is, you your ability to troubleshoot and learn in a short period, that's a serious ability. That's not just you winging it and getting through life on, on a wing and a prayer. It's you learning stuff in the moment and getting answers, and being able to apply those answers. Hugely, hugely important, especially in technical fields. Um, you know, Again, I'll come back to it, but it's like, do I not have the right Trump plan anymore? Yeah, I don't. Which one is the right one? This one. This one. Yeah, that one. Engineering school teaches you stuff, but more than anything, it teaches you how to learn. And, you know, bottom line, when you go through and do a lot of these things, is going to be how quickly can you find the answers? And those answers might be, online somewhere. They might be in a document, or they might be in, you know, they might be something that somebody else knows that you don't, and you just have to go ask. And being able to take that initiative and go and ask, that's also a skill. A lot of people will, how do I put this? There's no shame in asking for help. There's no shame in asking other people for answers as long as you can internalize those answers and use them again. Especially if you can do that. Because that's not somebody else giving you the answers. As long as you can internalize them, that's you learning. If you can, oh, you know what? I don't know how to make a spherical object, or I don't know how to make a cylinder in AutoCAD. Can you show me? Can you show me? Not can you do this for me, but can you show me? That's important and very useful. And being able to ask that and admit, oh, I don't know this thing, and my resources are failing me, or what have you. Anyway, so yeah, use your Google Foo. Google Foo is useful. It's a good skill. So that ran over. I can't imagine that people are not just clamoring for every employee they can get at this point. You can show up. What's up? Your tweezers? No, I haven't. I thought they might have been in the bedroom. Oh, they're around somewhere. Did the GMR have 266 Mason bogey? Yes, I think so. Pretty sure. Check the spreadsheet. Link to spreadsheet should be in fake model railroading somewhere, I think. But hold on. Oh, 2.8. Oh, you know what? They might have only had the bigger bogey. Hold on. Although I would probably be happier with them having a 266 instead of a 286. Yeah, they did have the bigger bogey, but they did not have the smaller bogey. Um, so yeah, I just had to check that myself, and no 266, just 286. Okay. I am making a mess of these shrubs. I just want to fill in these edges. Just call it a day. We're going to need to do fences. I did make the big one. Oh, good. Appreciate that. I know there's stuff out there. I just don't know what all is out there. I know a lot of people have done and are still doing great work when it comes to the Great Tolman Reskin project, but I don't sometimes know all of what is out there. Um, that array of Pacifics that I went over, I think during the AI stream, or the automation stream, the bonus stream from last weekend, which is part of the reason why I feel so weird to be doing this now, because it's so close to the last one. Those guys all need to be reskinned, whichever ones can be. I can't answer that. Oh my god, the last hour is just me losing my mind at the turntable. It's you gotta watch that if you just want to see my sanity eroding. It's like Tyler in a Royale, but tenfold. Tyler in an old Royale when Tyler actually cared. Alright. Okay. There we go, there we go. The part you're doing right now could be a map in and of itself. Yeah, I know. If you could break down Tolbrin into its constituent parts, and it would still be decent maps. They'd be small, you know, but I mean, a 15-mile long route isn't that small, I guess. But like the Olive Branch in and of itself, yeah, that I mean, it is its own route basically. You can download version 0.2 whatever, and it's just Olive and the Olive Branch, and you can still run that. I mean, it's all there. Um, it goes up to like the Vonotara River or whatever. And then point 3 is up to the Scioto River. Rivers are nice breaks. Rivers are nice places to take a breather on the route building. Natural barriers and stuff. See, the thing is, that's like the only natural barrier you can get away with, because a mountain, when do you stop? Do you go up to the top of the mountain and then stop? Do you stop right at the tunnel portal? Do you stop at the other tunnel portal? You know? Unless you want to pick an arbitrary spot, or like something man-made like a highway, a river is kind of your only definitive, okay, we'll stop here. You know? To me, anyway. Like, you divide the map for people with low FPS computers. See, dividing the map is hard, because, well, it's not hard, it's just tedious. You've got to go through and delete all the tiles that are not relevant. Which isn't, yeah, I guess it isn't tough, although when stuff starts to bug out, it's not the greatest thing in the world. And yeah, I don't know. My recommendation is if anybody wants to do that, be my guest. But I don't think I'll be spending my time on that. I am a person. My computer is not that great, uh, and I know that. I know I'm saying that, and you guys are looking at me and looking at the map and going, "What are you talking about?" But it's really not that great. Um, I used to have one of the better computers in the Horseman. Now I 100% have one of the bottom tier computers. Um, because I just haven't wanted to spend money on it. It's the kind of thing where I'm totally happy with secondhand parts, and as long as it does what I ask of it, I don't really have a problem with a computer that just sort of gets by. Uh, and if I've got something that's kind of meh, that means I'm creating stuff that hypothetically more other people than not can run, because you guys know me. I'm gonna push to the edge of capability. On all accounts. That's how Cogger's got to be like 80 mods strong. 79. 79 after I removed the weather mod, because that was actually too much. I pushed it too far. Oh, this section on trees needs to get done. This is one of the low-end computers on the Iron Horseman, yeah. I mean, if just to go through really quick, like, um, the people that are Horseman rank and above. I don't know about Brad. I don't know about Flegel. I don't know about Jake anymore. Kevin has crazy computers. Dean has a laptop that's decent. Garrett, I think, has a better computer than me these days. Kevon has crazy computers. East has a damn good computer. TBA has an awesome computer. Um, Climax, no idea. Graham has computers out the wazoo. Jader's probably on par with me. Um, uh, Madison's still here, but I think she just has a laptop that's okay. Um, Milky has a pretty good computer. Jake, I don't know. Agili's, the other Jake. Agili's has a damn good computer. Tyler, pretty good. Weibold, pretty damn good. Mason has computers for days. So, uh, maybe mine's not the low end, but it's definitely not on the high end. Um, so, yeah, I mean, make of that what you will. Because uh, I mean, it's a pretty middling computer. I am more or less in the middle. Uh, there are really only a handful of people that I know. Yes, mine is on the chaotic end of the spectrum. Um, there are only a few people that I know have worse computers than me. The other ones are kind of toss ups. Everyone else's that I know about their computer, it's because it's way better. Way better and just way less jank. My computer is missing a side. It has, all secondhand parts. There really is not a single part left in the computer that I purchased new. Um, the power button is hanging out of the case. The power button is right here. If you guys can, the cord's not long enough, but it was a different sort of connector, so I couldn't plug it into the case. I just had to hang it out the side. Um, it doesn't really. I mean, it does need to be turned on in two steps. I need to turn on the. I need to turn it on, and then I need to get past the errors that it tells me every time it turns on. Don't worry, that's not a problem. That's a feature, not a bug, uh, or something. It scares people into starting it, or into not starting it for me. Um, I'm saying no. This is absolutely not the final form of my computer. It's going to continue getting weirder. I got even more parts, and I had somebody offering me even more parts, and I can't say no to parts. I don't say no to free stuff. Just as a general rule. Um, I do my best to make use of all the free stuff that I get, or find a good home for it if necessary. If I can't use it, like I gave Jader an old power supply, which was actually the power supply from this computer once upon a time. Um, the previous iteration of it. It's the final boss of, yeah, it's I mean, it's not really the final boss because it's not the hardest thing, but maybe it's the final boss because it may not be the most difficult one, but it's like the most important to the story, you know? Like you can do harder stuff, but it's not relevant to the plot, and you do the harder stuff so that you get like the advanced weapons or like the rare weapons, and this is just like you beat it and the game is over. This is not here as an added challenge. This is here as like the you know this is the important thing. This is the climactic battle is won with my computer. Um, I guess if you were to fight all of the horseman computers somehow. Um, but that's one of the things. I mean, you could tout it as a feature uh, that it doesn't turn on in one step, because if you tell it to restart, like if somebody were to hack into the computer and try to install something, and then said, okay, let's restart the computer, and then it'll let us in. It'll restart and it'll get to the error window, and it won't go any further. It just won't. You have to hit F1 on the keyboard to tell it to proceed, because the computer's busy telling you, hey, your USB ports are unplugged. Your fan things, I can't tell where the fans are. I can't tell where anything is. And so 5 is already, are you talking about Train 5? Graham and I have the same laptop. If you defeat one, you can defeat the other. No, it's like the twins. It fights together. 5 is all. What are you talking about? 5 what? I'm confused. Um, Number 5 is alive. Oh, GMR 5. Is it uploaded? See, that's the thing. I used to have a pretty decent procedure where I would like have people send me stuff, and then I would do a little write up uh, to. Oh nope. Okay, I would do a little write up to like, oh, I like this, but tweak this, change this, whatever, and then send it back. And these days, I think just get something, throw it on the download station. It'll take however long it takes to get up there, but I probably won't notice it for a while. And then come pester me on a stream, and I can download it straight away, and just look at it, and I can make my critiques right then and there. And yeah, I know I should be working on the route, but I only have X amount of time to work on the route per week. Last week was a crazy outlier. I had time for a second stream. Oh, look at us humping the ground. And this was, and that allows me to do it during my allocated time, and you get feedback right away. And yeah, I get, okay, sometimes not everyone can make it to the stream every time, but you know. All right. Um, we're already an hour in. We need to do these little triangles. What did I say? Get stuff done up to this road. So, yeah, whatever. Let's just keep working. We still need to go and get fences. It's gonna be kind of a big deal. We are gonna push back in the corners of these fields a little bit. I love the tiny bridges. Yeah. No, they're cute. I really like them. They're pretty prototypical. I mean, they would be sort of cow passageways or walking passageways or culverts back when they first built this. But the thing is, they're a little bit incongruous because this main line, as we've talked about, is a little bit older or a little bit newer than a lot of sort of the prototypes for this. Because when I looked at this area, I was looking at Pennsylvania, which is firmly 1800s, and the New Haven, which is firmly 1800s. And this area is pretty late 1800s at a minimum because of the because of the hurricane. So it's going to be substantially newer than that. Ooh, excuse me. Give me the damn shrubberies. Thank you. We have Bridgebus Maximus, yeah, and then Bridgebus Minimus. Yeah, I mean, they're like bridges. What can I say? This railroad has like one tunnel. I mean, it's a pretty serious tunnel, I'm not going to lie. But I don't think they're going to be putting any of their stuff underground in Gilson City. I wasn't planning on that anyway. And yeah, I mean, maybe on the south side of the peninsula, which is a little rocky. It looks more like the west coast than the east coast. You know, sort of Pacific Northwest looking area. We might see more tunnels, but there really isn't room for that. I really didn't plan for any room for that because it's going to look sort of like a cross between the Pacific Northwest and the Hudson River, like the east side of the Hudson River, the line that goes north. And oh, here's an interesting note about that. The Gilson Underground, yeah. I mean, it might be both. Actually, I think it's a band. I think it's like a punk band. The Gilson Underground. How about that? Yeah, we got our first official Tolbrin band. But yeah. Ah, crap! I lost my train of thought. I got distracted by the band. These chicks don't even know the name of my band. Yeah. So fun fact, because if we're comparing the east side of the Hudson River or the Hudson River Valley to things in the Pacific Northwest, they do have geological sort of they do have geological um, similarities, as it were. The formation type is the same. They're both fjords. The west coast has fjords, which the east coast has none of, except for the Hudson River Valley. It is technically a fjord. Um, Fjord is created when basically there's a river valley and then the sea level rises. So the area that was once the river valley is now more or less ocean level. Now the Hudson River Valley is not ocean level, but it only gains a handful of feet as you go up the Hudson River. So that's damn close enough. Do we have something similar to a semi-desert here? We have a high desert. I'm planning on a high desert at least. But probably not an actual, like, flat, arid, cacti, you know, whatever. So you're going to have something akin to, like, the Alamosa Valley. Or, you know, whatever that valley is called. Like, the name escapes me at this moment. The San Luis Valley, right? Okay, there's fjords. What about Chevy? Boo. Go back to building your fire map town. There's fjords, there's Shijevi, and there's Ovlov. I need to write. There needs to be a place called Ovlov, maybe. And I know I will, like, you guys will hate me, which is why I'm not doing this. But man, do I want to name a place Morbius. I've not seen Morbius, and I never will, I think. Unlike Nope, if somebody asked me, do you want to see Morbius? I would probably say no. Can we watch, like, a good movie that's good? And in fairness, I can't really judge it because I haven't seen it. But, boy, everyone seems to say it's terrible. So, I'm going to go with it's terrible. Oh, crap. Look at this. We made a protrusion. Hold on. Let me look something up. Morbius Rotten Tomatoes. 16%! Wow! Alright, that's... Okay, next time I have to do that, I'm going to ask you guys to look it up because I don't want to take time off. But that was quick and very rewarding. That's actually not the worst that I've ever seen. What is... What is the worst, like, mainstream movie? What is... Yeah, the worst Rotten Tomatoes for, like, a mainstream movie. When you got a morb, you got a morb, yeah. I went into the kitchen earlier. Well, Gloria was sitting on the couch in the living room, but I poked my head and I said, you know that meme that we saw when, like, they're in the movie theater and it gets really quiet and then you just hear the ringing and then bam. I'm like, yeah, we need more Ben. And I don't know how I'm still not single. Morbius is the film ever. All those people are haters. Morbius made 13 more billions. It's the film. It's not like the best film or the worst film. Of all the movies I've seen, this was definitely one of them. I love saying stuff like that. It's, you know, oh, of all the cars I've driven, this was definitely one of them. And just leave it at that, you know? No further explanation is required. And now the only thing that's coming to mind is a dirty joke that I read earlier, and I don't know if you guys want to hear it. It's interesting. It's something, but you guys can just go on like jokes and find it. I'm in another Discord server and they constantly post Morbius memes. Oh man, I'm so jealous of you, Dean. I'm jealous of you all the time. My brother named his cat Morbius. Yes. Hello, comrade. Okay. Alright, let's, okay. Look at all that shrubbery down there. Maybe I should have a section of railroad with ludicrously tall fill like those two trestles on the Douglas Airline Trail. Okay. We've got to fill this area in with trees. Or something. Oh, we didn't do this corner, huh? What do I want to fill in this space? Because I feel like I can get something to fill in this space. You know, like a little beach community or something. But I don't know, it's just sort of escaping me at this very moment. Because I just don't know if I want to go whole hog with the trees. Mostly because I'm tired of doing grass. But, I mean, is that the wisest choice? Is that the smart thing to do, is just to put trees here? Because, I mean, what else are you going to do, really? 3 houses. Yeah, I mean, do we have, like... So there used to be these houses down by the, down near Matunic Beach, between Matunic and Moonstone. Let me see if we can... I kind of want to take you guys on a little adventure here. But, yeah, I am tired of doing grass. I'm sure you guys are tired of watching me do it. Guess we canceled the intervention. Oh, haha. I mean, we could have, like, these little houses. Oh, the terrain here is very steep. It's steeper than I would... Okay, we're doing trees. I'm sorry. Weather update. It's hot outside. Yeah. Also, I want to flatten this out. Maybe that would be interesting. Flatten it out a little bit. This area might be flat enough for a few houses. 1, 2. These kind of suck. That's no good. Yeah. Face the water. Face the water. People touch grass. Okay, let's go on a little adventure. We switch to screen. So, let's go to Google Maps so I can get an idea of what to look up. So, there's Quantocontog, love that. Mawtucket by the Sea, Charlestown Beach Road. This used to be an airfield if you can't tell. South Kingstown Town Beach, there's the Ocean Mist, there's East Matunic, I went too far. Moonstone, these guys, these houses right here. Okay, so Cards Pond Road. These guys almost got washed away. Hold on. Rhode Island Cards Pond Road houses. Not for sale. Are they for sale? That'd be crazy. I bet they're a gajillion dollars. So here's one of them. It's up on stilts now. It used to be on the beach. Now it's on stilts. There's a lot of pictures of this one in particular. I used to have a ton of pictures of them. Oh wait, maybe I can go find the pictures that I took of them. Here's another one. 1938 hurricane. All right, hold on. Beach. Oh, sorry. Beach. I don't have as many photos as I thought. This was after Hurricane Irene, so yeah, there's one of them. This is the middle one. This one's gone. This one, pretty sure, is gone. That's my own beach house. Yeah, this one's definitely gone. That was, yeah. Yeah. So I don't have pictures of the big one. But that one is still standing, as you can see in the Google, you know, images and etc. No surprise that I can't do Street View here. But kind of surprising that there are no pictures that were taken over here. So there's 3 left. There's this one, which is the one with the turret here. It's that. Then there's this one in the middle. I don't really know what that one is, which one that one is. It's not this one. And then there's the 3rd one, which is this one with the giant deck. Again, I mean, it's pretty. They're not in great shape. Oh, there's pictures on here. Oh, it's sold for $1 million. What did I tell you? This is what I want models of these 3. That's why there are so many pictures of this one, because this one sold. This one's actually, this is one of the ones that survived. The one with the, was that the one with the giant hole in the side of it? We're going back. We're going back. Beach. Yeah, it kind of looks like it. This was the one with the turret, I think, actually. And then, yeah, this one with the giant hole in the side of it. This one's still around. This one is one of the 3 that survived. Oof, that's a lot of damage. Yeah, like I said, this was Hurricane Irene. This one's gone. Sold for $1 million. Incredible. What is the inside? Wow, it's pretty. We're not here to do house hunting, but this is the nicest beach house I've ever seen. And my beach house is in that direction. Small. Anyway, 3.1.1. What does that mean? 3 bedrooms, three bathrooms is kind of excessive for this house. The crazy thing is they have like proper plumbing because most of these houses don't. Anyway, that sold for a cool $1,000,000. Not really surprised there. So now that we're done house hunting, let's get back to doing what we're supposed to be doing. Alright, turn off the screen. I wanted to do that, but I don't have houses like that. I have not found houses like that. And once I do, maybe I'll do something like that. Alright, we gotta paste some trees. Alright, there. 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 This is going to be a little bit tricky to maneuver, these trees here. Also, I'm going too far. I need to just get up to that road, which means we need a slice of trees about half as wide. So let's clear these out. Oh, let me pull up let me make sure I can see the chat again. But yeah, no, I remember after Hurricane Irene, after the front 2 rows of our beach got washed away, so the front 2 rows of houses got washed away, and the you know, the whole like beach community, or a lot of us, walked down to those houses because we saw that they were real battered, even though they're a good amount away. I'll just do a really quick measurement. They are from like our main beach. It's a quarter mile. It's not that far, but it's far enough. And the everyone sort of realized, oh, these houses are in bad yeah, how did the big houses fare? And the answer was poorly. And frankly, I'm surprised any of them like stuck around. I'm surprised they weren't all demolished, because there were more of them previously, before the hurricane. Or, well, you saw there was at least one more in those pictures. You know what? Can I go back to pre-2011 and here? How do I do historic imagery in Google Maps now? I don't know if I can. I know I can do historic street view. I don't know if I can do historic imagery. Oh wait, if I click on map data 2022, imagery 2022, click on something, click on things. Could switch between feet and meters. Whatever, I'm spending time doing nothing. Oh, there's wildfires and COVID-19 info layers. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm sure all 0 people that live in these houses don't have COVID. Oops, wrong tab. Back to live stream. Okay. Sorry for the delay. Let's continue. So, always spin your textures unless you have a good reason not to. We're going to slide this in here. Slide this in here. We're just going to break up sort of the straight line of this. I mean, if it's a little bit, edgy, I guess it's not a big problem. But again, I'm touching areas that I don't need to be touching right now. So let's get back to over here. Now, why did I make more work for myself by doing this? Why? Why? All right, paste a chunk of trees right here. Move these guys off the field. And let's continue this way. The reason the AI is such an important thing to me is because it just lets me not do this. My least favorite part of root building. Terrain, I can do that all day long. This, though, no, kill me. Awful, bad, sucks. House Hunters Tolbrin, the complete saga. You know, next time I'll just be... Next episode of Under Construction will just be exclusively me browsing houses for sale. And we can see how insane the housing market is. Not that you guys don't know that already. Like I said, if I had a van to live in and no soul, I could 100% sell this house and make like 6 figures over what I paid for it. But half of the reason I bought it was to keep it in the family, so I'm not going to do that. I love this place, even though it is sort of rough sometimes. I don't know where Gloria went. I'm starting to get hungry, which are unrelated items, but I don't want to eat during the stream. 2008 all over again? We can only hope that the bubble pops someday. Unfortunately, it'll lead to a massive economic crash, but don't worry, we're headed there anyway. Notice with natural disasters, no matter how bad the damage is, it amazes me how it brings the affected communities together. And you're right, it does. It does have a way of doing that. Unfortunately, it also destroys stuff and kills people. So, you know, a lot of wonderful stuff is born out of tragedy, but you need to have the tragedy first, and that's not any fun. Would it be better to live in a world with no tragedy and thus none of those heartwarming moments? Don't worry, I'm sure humans would be able to manufacture their own tragedies. And that wasn't a question anyone had, just sort of a hypothesis that I wanted to throw out there. I want a house that's not across the street from railroad tracks. If you had a van, I have a station wagon, literally just curtains. Yeah, but I used to sleep on the top bunk in college, and despite the fact that I like the top bunk, what I don't like is waking up and hitting my head on the ceiling. So, you know. Orion seems to have a bad experience with railroads. Well, that's too bad considering he's a massive foamer. But then again, we all are. That's why you guys are here. We all foam down here, Johnny. Or whatever it is. Is it Johnny? We all foam down here, Jimbo. Hold on. We all float down here. Georgie. It's Georgie. Georgie. Okay, I'm sorry. I have not seen it. Is Hemlock here to make fun of me some more? I haven't seen it. No, foam. Well, the quote is, we all float down here, Johnny. But, you know, we all foam down here. I have a meme of that somewhere. I made a meme once upon a time. And it's, you know, it's the Pennywise, you know, looking up from the gutter at Georgie, you know, we all float down here. And the thing that I always wanted to do with it that I never got around to doing was photoshopping the background behind him so you can see like a layout in the sewer with him. Yes. That would have been, I thought that would have been marvelous and hilarious, and I never got around to doing that. Mostly because I'm not that good at Photoshop. I took a Photoshop class once upon a time, and somewhere I have a computer, oh, it doesn't work anymore, the computer, with like Photoshop 6 or something. It's a really old version. I've had trains derail in front of my home, stop in front of my home after hitting people. Their horns are constant. Yeah, that's rough. You know, the people that get upset about people that get upset about trains near them have never lived with a train near them. It like a busy rail line, you know? It can be dangerous, it can be traumatizing, it can be just plain annoying. And oh, you shouldn't have bought a house there, blah blah blah. And yet, there is some merit to the idea of, yeah, you need to know your surroundings, but sometimes a realtor will give you improper information. Sometimes a rail line gets reactivated. Sometimes you don't think it's going to be as much of a problem as it is. And yeah, sometimes sucks to suck, you know, sometimes, sort of tough. You own this house, you own this property, and you're just gonna have to deal with the consequences. But sometimes it's like, okay, maybe you can do something about that. If all of your uh, if all of your crossings are gated and lighted, there's no issue with making something a quiet zone. Uh, hypothetically. Um, so these sorts of things. Is your girlfriend in Fort Collins? Um, but yeah, I mean that's it can be rough, you know. Asking your local community, your local politician, the railroad, to do something about it if it's having a negative impact on your life is not far fetched, and it shouldn't be shamed, you know. Um, West Plains, Missouri. Oh, okay. Because there's the kind of, I guess, famous slash infamous median running in Fort Collins that also runs right by a college. If Shelby was here, she could tell you all about it because she grew to hate that train. Um, Not great being a college student moving halfway across the country and then being woken up every night by freight trains. Uh, you know, everyone's just trying to live. I'll sit here and give life advice something. I mean, I try, okay? My city tried to get a quiet zone, but the railroad refused. To plan on being out of this railroad torture chamber in less than 5 years. Well, I wish you the best of luck. I really do. Shelby is chaos, but Burlington Northern Santa Fe did not help. Um, I wish you luck. Maybe there may be no BNSF by then. I'm not saying your issues with BNSF, but lots of people's issues with BNSF. I mean, we've got what, like 50 days left, 55 days left before the like mandatory uh, like negotiation period is over, and there's no freaking way that they are able to work anything out, and the whole railroads are going to go on strike, and the whole country is just going to shut down. Um, why is Santa Fe named after Santa? Because it was a gift. Not really though. The Santa Fe is kind of meh. The Delaware and Hudson did Blue Bonnet better than Santa Fe ever did, and they have a better overall paint scheme anyway. Full stop. Literally, fight me. Um, Santa Fe, most iconic paint scheme. Not great, okay? Pretty good, not great. It's iconic because lots of people bought Trainz with a war bonnet on it, okay? Sorry to be the bearer of bad news. The war bonnet is neat, but that's about it. No, I won't. I won't take that back. Okay, it's pretty. It's pretty all right. It's pretty cool. I mean, war bonnet's a pretty sharp-looking paint scheme, but it's sort of like it's sort of like a song that's really good and gets a ton of radio play, and then you don't want to hear it anymore. I'm good on war bonnet. I've seen what war bonnet looks like. It's good. Show me something else. Show me something like neat. Show me something actually interesting. We painted the front of the locomotive red. Yeah, congratulations. So did Southern Pacific. Okay. I mean, full agree, but he's still gonna get slaughtered. Oh what? Yeah. Um, I once saw a train that they made, and the tender was so weird. Great Northern. Ooh, I have such mixed feelings on Great Northern. Their early Great Northern scheme is interesting, at least. It's. Mm, let me Great Northern Railroad. Let me locomotive. Oh, the Great North. The steam engines are weird. I'll give them that. The steam engines are something special. Uh, the Great Northern, the early diesel scheme. Ooh, I mean, Hustle Muscle's funny. Nobody, you can't like Hustle Muscle. Big Blue Sky, effing nailed it. Awesome. Red and Dark Gray, not Southern Pacific. Which one? What are you talking about? Um, but yeah, no, Great Northern. At least they were trying something new a lot. Big Blue Sky is gorgeous. Can't say anything bad about that. That's for sure. But I mean, maybe I'm just a sucker for light blue because the Rock is the best Rock Island scheme. I mean, some people like the red. I don't really get it. I think the light blue is, the bankruptcy blue. I know, haha, but it's a good looking scheme. And the Boston and Maine, the what the hell do they call it? Not the Minuteman scheme, even though I like the Minuteman scheme. Uh, the how about Southern F and E green? I'm not really a huge fan of Southern green. I think it's too green. But then again, I really only don't like it when they put it on steam engines. On a diesel, yeah, you can get away with it. I have controversial paint scheme opinions, I guess. Illinois Central. Oh, yeah, hold on. Illinois Central Railroad paint schemes. They're like faux creamsicle. I can't complain about. I think it's okay. Like, oh, a DB. Are we talking about Deutsche Bahn here? No, no, get them out of here. Um, get them out of here. Bad. Um, sharp looking, sure, but Hugo Boss made some sharp looking uniforms too. That doesn't mean we have to like them. Uh, and yeah, no, Illinois Central early on, the sort of again the faux creamsicle. I can't say anything bad about it. I think it's a neat scheme. I think it's all right. CN&W, I know nobody brought it up, but it just crosses my mind that they had a really obnoxious, like, like high vis color paint scheme that came out in locomotion models way worse than it looked in real life, as far as I can tell. So I shouldn't hate them as much as I do, but I kind of just don't like them. At least they're more frequent than Amtrak. Oof. Man, that's a stopped clock is about more frequent than Amtrak. They're right twice a day. Amtrak comes by like twice a day if you're lucky. Over transit. Uh, Illinois Central, the elephant in the room Death Star scheme. Awesome. Love it. So cool. Honestly, maybe I'm complaining about things not being interesting, but also loving things that are distinctly uninteresting. But it really, when a railroad just throws up their hands and says, we're going to paint it black, sign me up. Italian, early, hold on. FS early electric livery. Hold on. Railroad electric livery. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I don't know which one of them is their early scheme, but yeah, I can't really complain about the Italian stuff. Um, that was Southern for a time. U.S. Army is interesting. Um, I mean, that was the PRR and that was the Penn Central too. They just went like, we're gonna paint it black. Um, and you know what? I can understand. I mean, the PRR was not black; it was Brunswick green. But it's like all of you are going to know the thing that I'm about to say, but I'm gonna say it anyway. This is how you make Brunswick green. You take your can of black paint, open it up, and you whisper green. And you close it and you label it Brunswick green and you sell it to the Pennsylvania Railroad. There's no it's not green. It's black. I mean, I know it's green, but I know I'm a Pensy guy, but everything looks good in black and the PRR was no exception. Um I got pinged. It was not in streaming and recording. When's Royal Jeopardy? I need to upload it. Just made it enemy for life. Take me 2 seconds. Central was better. First of all, wrong. Second of all, the Central's gray scheme, the Greyhound with the lightning stripe, not bad. I don't really have any complaints about that. The Central's awful turquoise. Get it out of here. It's garbage. It's garbage. It looks disgusting. So, you know, that's that. Tuxedo paint, the southern tuxedo paint, just a black and white, looks good. I like that. Ronnie Kantorski impersonator. Pigtail MFs. Okay. Hi, kitty. The cat is under my legs. Hi, you've been very affectionate today. What is it that you want? Did you already ate, I gave you food. You ate all of it. He's being weird. Central has cooler steam than Pensy. Pensy was classier. No, they don't. The Central has a cooler, streamlined, medium-sized engine. The PRR chucking science at the wall and seeing what sticks with the duplexes is the best thing you can do with a steam locomotive. Because they didn't do it and made it look terrible. They did it and made it look awesome. The Q1, super cool. The S1, super cool. They might have been mechanical messes, but they looked awesome. And then they took that and improved upon it, and they made the T1s and the Q2s, which are basically, as far as I'm concerned, the best like passenger and freight steam locomotives. I know they aren't, but I know they aren't. Before people come in here and try to debate me about it. Tell me to look at L2A and tell me it isn't cool. It isn't cool. I've seen them. I think they're okay. I mean, they're neat. They're like brutalist. They do look okay. They look cool in their own way. But as far as just like genuine, like we're making something that looks dope, the PRR had it in the bag at the end of Steam. If you like brutalist architecture, which I kind of have a soft spot for, yeah, okay. The New York Central stuff, it had some things going for it. But I'll keep to any livery that looks good on a tank engine. Livery that looks good on a tank engine. No, we're going with liver. We're going to paint liver on a tank engine. It's going to be serving like a meat packing plant. It's going to have a liver painted on the side of it. Hear me out, Soviet Yellowstones. I don't know what they look like. But the Soviets... So, it comes back to this, right? It's a wonderful quote. And I don't remember who said it. Just probably someone on Reddit. Say what you will about the commies, but they make a damn cool monument. And that's... If you've ever seen the... hold on, let me just make it sure. The Yuri Gagarin monument, what is it? It has a different name, I think. No, it's just called Monument to Yuri Gagarin. I thought it was something else. I thought it was called something else. It looks so cool. Too much copy-pasted communism. No, communism. That's not a mark against it. Copy-paste, not so fun, but I mean, at some point it boils down to everybody copying everybody, especially at the end of the Steam era. I mean, there were some people. Well, no, you know what? I take that back. Middle late Steam era was a lot of copycats, or more like middle. Everyone figured out, oh crap, Pacifics and Mikados, that's where it's at, and then just pumped them out. just like went crazy with Pacifics and Mikados, which again kind of makes sense because they were top dog, but um, people weren't really innovating at that point. Uh, the Russian O10Os are cool. I mean, the Russian decapods are cool. They were built here though. I don't know. The Russians made a lot of cool looking steam engines, and again, it comes back to like say, well, you will about the commies, but they make a damn cool monument. They know how to make things that are not cool look cool, and I mean, just like a steam engine, and you paint some of it red, and there's a big star on the front, and it's like, I don't really see how you can beat that. It's you could go crazy, but the Soviets just had a really specific and unique way of styling things where it never felt like anything was short on style. Also sad about the 225. The Southern took 210-2s and rebuilt them into Mikados. I never really understood the location, the place in the hierarchy for 210-2s. I guess I get they're fine for draggers, which makes a lot of sense if you consider the PRR. They had some draggers, they had some 210-2s rather, but most of their heavy stuff in the intermediate period was handled by the Hippos, was handled by the I-1s, and it's like they're good draggers, but they, by all accounts, just beat the living hell out of their crews because they couldn't go fast because they had tiny driving wheels. And as a consequence, you could not fit a counterweight in the driving wheel that was big enough for the to offset the rods. The rods were too heavy. They had too much power. Eventually, they had to limit the cutoff on them because they just flung you around. If you were a crew member on an I-1, you just got beat up. And that's so funny to me. Like, I mean, it's not funny that people were getting beat up, but it's just you made a locomotive that was too powerful for itself. And I mean, this happens on a lot of railroads, but it's rare that you have a locomotive where you screw up like that and then you keep using it. And then you have just like a class of like 600 of them. And it's like, yeah, we know that why is my husband coming home from work with 2 black eyes every day? Oh, the hippo's beating him up. He's getting beat up by the steam engine. It's like, holy crap. Do you think the PRR, because I don't know how many batches they were ordered in, do you think the PRR took an order of I-1s and were like, wow, man, the crews really hate these, we'll have 500 more of them, thank you. 284 is surprisingly good road switchers. 284Ts. Who had 284Ts? Italian steam locomotives are neat. I like them. I mean, I have a bias. But it's sort of like the Russians, where they always find a way to make them look a little stylish. Then again, if we look at steam locomotives the world over, there are very few nations where you just get straight up like, it's a steam engine, here you go. And the US is one of them, because we just sort of stuck with a design that had no flair, that had no like style or uniqueness to it, really. I mean, the USRA designs is what I'm talking about, and I can't really poo-poo that because there was a good reason for it. But you look at them and it's just like, yeah, steam locomotive. There's nothing special about them. And in a way, you can look at them from an outside perspective, and you can look at them from, say, the British perspective, and say that, well, they are a locomotive that is unabashedly a locomotive. It's a locomotive that, nothing is hidden. You don't have pipes that are hidden. You're not trying to do clean lines and everything unless you're the D&H. American steam is very much unapologetic about what it is. And that has a certain sort of aesthetic, which in some cases is stylish in and of itself. But when you take that to the next level and make this big hulking thing, which is still unapologetic, And yeah, okay, I will give praise to the New York Central Mohawks and Niagaras for looking like this, where it's like, no, we put a giant cylinder on giant wheels and called it a day. Um, that's yeah, that that is a certain sort of style. Uh, but most nations, they went the other way with it. They went for, we're gonna try to take a steam engine and make it look cool. We're gonna make, we're gonna put stars on them. We're gonna put some like semi streamlining, some sort of shrouding, some sort of markers or interesting paint. Durchbahn with the red undercarriage. Um, excuse me. Wired keyboards are better. Uh, Chinese stuff. I mean, they went with some of the stuff was out of necessity, like having box drivers on Mikados. Yeah, they're just straight up better. If you're making locomotives for an extra 40 years, you're gonna start putting all the modern fixings on all the locomotives because what have you got to lose by not doing that? The only reason we didn't have Mikados with box drivers in the United States is because by the time we were in the by the time we were in the era of making stuff with box drivers on a large scale, nobody was making new Mikados, you know. Uh, Chinese loco. I mean, the Tangshan Locomotive Works made steam engines well into the 80s at least, and that's where you get things like Valley Railroad 3025 and Susquehanna. I think it's like 142 or something. Uh, the locomotive that was originally at the Noxicane, I think that became the Susie engine, or the Sussy engine, depending on how you want to pronounce it. Um, how about a sneaky steam engine that got yeeted to 200 feet by a sneaky boat? You're gonna have to narrow it down there, mate. But a lot of countries tried, and then the U.S. kind of went the other way with it, and just did like the AA-20 looking. We made big steam locomotive, and yeah, okay, it came back around. Most of the Northerns that were made that are endearing anyway. I mean, there are Northerns around that don't that are just okay. We put a cylinder on wheels, and kind of 844 is one of them if you think about it without the elephant ears. The FEFs were definitely very much like that. But you have the GSs where they all have a casing, a skyline casing, and you have obviously things like 611, but then you have Milwaukee Road 261, which is back the other direction. I think those locomotives, that class of locomotives, is sharp because they are unapologetically steam locomotives taken to the logical extreme. It is, we made a big cylinder and we put it on big wheels and we painted it black and we called it Northern, and like there's nothing else to it. This engine was promoted to impromptu reef. There's so many of those. There's a lot of those. France went nuts. France is doing two things at once. They're making engines that have everything exposed, but they're also putting like noses and elephant ears and stuff like that. Like I know elephant ears have a purpose, but I can never think of them as something other than aesthetic, because tons of engines got away without them up till the end of Steam. I mean, the PRR is over here like it doesn't matter if you can't see out the front of the engine if you got cab signals. I mean, what's the point? You know before you see. But you can talk about these things stylistically for hours and hours and hours, and I could continue talking about them stylistically for hours and hours and hours. And there's really, oops, don't spin this texture. There's really nothing wrong with that, nothing to it, really. It's just, that's the way it is. Every country, every company, every builder, every class is different. And you can talk about and compare them forever. And that's what Locomotive Versus is for. Anyway. Okay, put grass over it a little bit. We're just going to fill in the grass on this side. Yeah, I mean, you can like them all you want. They're just, there's obvious reasons why not to. I'm not going to support the Deutschbahn. Especially after DRB 52s keep ruining my Royales. But I mean, you have to have a certain amount of respect for the people who try to do interesting paint schemes on steam engines. Because when the diesel era came, now suddenly you just have a blank canvas. You can paint whatever you want on there. You could draw, you could just start drawing lines and circles, and you could have a paint scheme that looks like whatever the hell you want. And there isn't an issue with that. You don't have to work around anything, and you barely have to worry about it getting dirty. So, have a ball. But the people that went and like, okay, we're going to paint steam engines, unique colors and paint schemes and whatever. Like, the British. Do I like British steam? No. Do I respect British steam? No. But they did try with their looks. They went out of their way to make their stuff streamlined and kind of cool. And I can respect that at least. I can respect that at least. They don't deserve a speed record, though. Great Northern Corps the 484 Montana. Of course they did. Aren't they the guys who invented the thing? Is that right? I want to believe UK, but I thought they gave it the name Northern because it was on the Great Northern. I don't know. That'd be news to me if it's not. I thought it was another like other railroads that were just like, no, we're not going to call it that. Montana has a railroad? Montana has the Montana Rail Link, may it rest in peace. Early 90s, no, early 70s. Pretty sure Timken made it and then MP named them. Northern Pacific, oh, Northern, oh! This is why. This is why the Northern Pacific and the Great Northern, like, nobody should have allowed that to happen. It was called a Northern. Who named the Northern? Obviously the railroad is Northern in their name. Oh, there's too many of them. Who named the Pacific? There's 10,000 railroads with the word Pacific in their name. Oh, more than 5 people live in Montana. Like, there's at least 6. Come on now. Plus, the Empire Builder is just cool. The Empire Builder is the coolest train. I need to... The coolest train on Amtrak, I should say. I need to ride the Empire Builder. It's on my bucket list. Missouri Pacific, actually. Okay, well, thank you for that tidbit. I actually appreciate you looking that up because I didn't know the answer. But it could have been, like, one of 50 different railroads. And that's just naming class 1s. Oh, you know what? We gotta do something. We gotta go on another field trip. We're going on a field trip. Also, KMS. I can upload it as I'm lazy. Bruh. Literally, you're making me do the thing that I'm gonna send it to Matt and make him do it. I'm gonna make Matt do it. Okay. Alright, hold on. We're going on a field trip. Another one. 2 in this episode. Mississippi Rails. Google Earth Railroad maps. Okay. We got all the class 1s. Individual railroad maps in alphabetical. Pacific. 10 of them. There's 10 of them. Canadian Pacific. CRIP. Duluth, Winnipeg Pacific. MOPAC. Northern Pacific. Southern Pacific. Texas and Pacific, Union Pacific, Vicksburg, Shreveport Pacific, and finally Western Pacific. I feel like we're missing one. I feel like we're missing many. There were plenty of other railroads that had the word Pacific in them. I guarantee you that. These are just the big ones. I know it's not as many as I said, but the fact that there are 10 of them. Hold on, one more thing. Gulf. There's 4 of those, and 3 of them are, well, 2 of them are the same thing. I think. And then we have Atlantic. There's 3 of those, and one of them is the ACL. And the other was Duluth Shore and Atlantic. Where is that? I mean, don't answer that. Class 1 need to allow more passenger trains? Well, yeah. We also need to give Amtrak funding for more passenger trains. Tennessee and Pacific in the 1870s. Yeah, see? Every Class 1 that ever existed is made up of other railroads. The PRR merged with like 600 other railroads. Lasted 4 months. Nice. And, I mean, the PRR was gigantic, so that makes sense. But, like, 600! And we call the Union Pacific the Dream Crushers because they merged with so many. 600 railroads. Insanity. I don't know where that number comes from, honestly. It's just one that I remember from doing research. Lafayette has a bone. Came to Tennessee Central. That's another one I should have looked up railroads with the word Central in their name. Union Pacific also... Armor Yellow is awful, and nothing will ever change my mind. You know what's more awful? The freaking... Oh, man, what are they called? The sugar company. U.S. Sugar, right? What the hell was that? U.S. Sugar was like, we're gonna paint something. We're gonna paint something new. Like a paint scheme that isn't represented anymore. And I'm like, yeah? And then they paint something armor yellow. I don't care that it belongs to another railroad. Pick something good. More armor yellow. Not what the world needs. But no, yeah, no, Class 1s need to allow more friggin' passenger trains. Class 1s need to not have a stick up in their butt about letting passenger trains through. Put your profits aside for 30 seconds. I know that's not their job. It's the shareholders, Bob. Who's helping them out? Oops, whoa. Didn't mean to do that. What? Why this? Why that boxcar? Why that boxcar specifically? It means blue and yellow. Blue and yellow, no. I'm sorry, I'm not... You know what? I had that whole argument about ACL, or, what is it, 1504, 1405, getting bought by U.S. Sugar, and people being upset because, it's going to get repainted into something that's not ACL. And it's like, okay, yeah, I get it. No, I rejected that because at least it's running, right? At least it's running. It's U.S. Sugar's locomotive. You don't get upset because it's their locomotive. It's their thing to repaint. They can do whatever they want with it. Calm down. But I realize I have no reason to forgive them or give them any leeway on paint schemes after, yeah, Mopac, you're 100% correct. No, USSC does not have a passenger scheme. They just have their logo that they put on the things. But they put the armor yellow on stuff, which is unforgivable. Union Pacific does not need more representation. And you know what? I don't care if it's not actually Union Pacific. If it makes me think of Union Pacific, it's no good. Get it out of here. Garnet. Back together. We need to get some driveways in here. So you know what? Yeah, no, I will allow being mad at USSC, but not because they own an ACL engine. Uh, yeah, ACL though with the purple. I was wondering when someone was gonna bring up the purple because I don't mind it. I don't love it, but I don't mind it. This is not the driveway that I expected. Is this a different driveway than? Wait. We need to go. We need to go somewhere. We need to go over here. Did this asset get updated? Because that would blow my mind. No, it didn't. Okay. Non-steam locomotive on the UP I like is in the daylight livery for a reason. Okay, I get it. I was like, what are you talking about? Oh yeah, the heritage unit. Daylight's not bad. Daylight is best on steam engines. Um, but and when they, it's best on the daylights. It's best on the northerns. When you try to stray from that, it goes off the rails kind of quick. I feel like you asphalt really. I mean, yeah, I know it kind of doesn't fit. Um, but I don't think I have a dirt driveway, which is my issue. I mean, I guess I have. What is this? How wide is that? Okay, yeah, I can use this. Good catch. Do they? Oh. Who has the rights to IC? Who owns that? What did it get merged into? Illinois Central. You see, yellow is not represented enough. Yeah, US and UP and TTX. That's correct. That's the right response. Canadian National owns it. Oh, that's kind of a shame. I mean, it's not a bad thing explicitly, but oh, my back hurts. Okay, we need to get some sort of grassy dirt for the ground here. It's gonna be. I don't like that. What about this? This is not bad blown up. CN has a Death Star Heritage unit? That's good. I'm glad to hear it. I wasn't aware. I wanted to say I wasn't aware instead of, well, I've never seen that. Because I've never seen that implies a certain level of skepticism, I feel. And, like, oh, I've never seen that. But, I was unaware is almost like an apology. It's almost like, oh, right, okay, you know more about this than I do. It's admitting that you don't know something as opposed to just sort of saying that you have never seen something. Yeah, nearly hit 2 baby deer. Oh, God. Yeah, I was aware that there were still units in Death Star. At least I thought there were. And that is wonderful. Again, when railroad companies throw in the towel and just say we'll paint it black, I eat that up for some reason. The other thing though is, you know what is unreasonably sexy is the old Canadian Pacific scheme that they brought back on a couple of locomotives with like the maroon and the stripes. That looks so good. Um, and I pointed it out to Gloria one time when we were getting the most out of life by watching Virtual Railfan Grab Bag. Um, it's so nice. Love that scheme. Need a barn. Should I download more barns? Excuse me. Excuse me. Again. Oh, it's... Oh, man. Now I've got the hiccups, too. Their diesel paint scheme? Was it the black with the yellow stripe? I like this rendering of it. This picture of it... Oh, wait, that's Element. I do like... I found, like, a postcard of it, and I like it a lot. Oh, there it is. Yeah, that's pretty nice. I think that's pretty nice. I think the yellow on the front is a little bit too much, but I do like that. The CP unit does the D-Day stripes. Yes. Honestly, CP knocked it out of the park with their heritage units. They did a real good job. UP's been hit or miss. UP's hit or miss. Canadian Pacific knocked it out of the park. These guys obviously are sexy as hell. These guys. Yeah, I mean, this is how you do camo on a locomotive. Nobody else got it right. Nobody else got it right. I don't think. I know who else has a heritage unit that's writing heritage unit. Who else has a? There's CNW. God, it's a little bit gaudy. Heritage unit with No, no, no. This is not good. The camo on that is not good. This is not terrible. Oh wait, that's not. This is bad. Yeah, no, it's not good. Who else has a heritage unit with camo on it so I can dunk on them? Because nobody else got it good. Nobody else figured it out. UP Desert Storm. Oh, NS, UP, CSX. Alright, let's do NS. Which one is that one? I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it with camo. I don't know which one it is. I mean, it could be worse, but it's not. I mean, I like how they just sort of went for it. I forgot about this engine. I like how they just sort of went like, yeah, we're gonna paint it all in camo. It's gonna be all camo. A pretty baller, not gonna lie. Good taste, mediocre execution. I think that they could have done better. But there are absolutely worse things. There are absolutely worse things. Okay, so I can't stretch this guy out very much. If anybody says giggity to that, they're going straight to horny jail. Oh wait, we're actually gonna just go to here. Oh wait, no, I did graveyard dirt all the way to the edge, so. Or what I'm calling graveyard dirt. We get a tombstone? Nope. Just some gravestones. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, down 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I know these are all weird orientations, but just bear with me. It's not going to come out perfect. We'll have to shuffle things around once we get things in the right order, but... does the Leopold in West Virginia count? Graveyard Joe, I didn't know Alice did another podcast. That does sound like... that. Yeah, that sounds right. Does the Leopold in West Virginia count? I don't think I know what that is. Also, I need to turn off screen mode. There goes the dog again. Lafayette, why are you such a spaz today? He's losing his mind. Lafayette. I can't with him. Oh, welcome. I'm sorry, I did not get to look at your route today. It occurred to me a little bit after I went in, and I didn't have time to sort it out. Welsh Mine Legacy, I just finished summer school. Okay. I hope you're in, like, Pacific time or something, because that's late for summer school. Unless it's remote. Oh, railway. Oh, okay, railway gun. I mean, that's... I don't see what that counts for. I thought we were talking about heritage units. Oh, things with camo. It probably had camo on it. Okay. I guess, but that's something actually used in the military, so that doesn't really matter. You know, I'm not going to count that because it is something that is... It's camoed for good reason, not because they wanted to put camo on a locomotive. There are plenty of actual, like, armored trains and stuff that have good camo. Armored locomotives that have good camo. And I can't... Like the Desert Storm engine, that belongs in a war zone. You know? That looks correct. Ain't used no more. Are you talking about the railway gun? Yeah, of course it's not used anymore. I assume you're not talking about the railway gun, because that doesn't make any sense. It was done and painted for war. It wasn't, you know, it wasn't some railroad trying to cosplay as a tank. Armored British narrow gauges, yeah, that's something special. I don't know how many people would have died over here, but I want to leave plenty of room in the graveyard. There we go. I don't know if the space is big enough for gravestones. Seems big enough for me. Big enough to me. Are you making a joke on me because it's huge? And the babes go wild. Okay, we're missing this section. Space it out. No, I'm not gonna space it out. There's a reason that I'm not doing that. You know, you'd want to make the most use of that as you can. Non-war units, correct me if I'm wrong, but ain't there a trench team engine in the U.S. that's still operational? As of recently, yes. I believe it was non-operational, and then it was brought back. Honestly, I shouldn't have done so many of the big ones. That's my issue. Let me... You know what? We're going back. We're going to make this a little better. What was the other one? So we've got that one, we've got that one. We've got this one, and this one. We need to make use of these. So let's... 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3. We're going to replace the big ones. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. And we're going to add some more. Guess I will space them out just a little bit. Alright. And another one of these in the back row. It's like a New Orleans graveyard. I mean, I'm going for that sort of, small town country, vibe. Not necessarily southern, but if I'm going in that direction, I'm definitely not going in the wrong direction. Although these guys are a little too far back. Hopefully nobody ever looks at these too closely and sees that the engravings are half on the wrong side, unless it's the same texture on both sides. Oh, my neck. Greyhound. Oh, it's a bus. I was like, we got dogs? I think this area is basically done. Oops. That's what happens when you get too overzealous with shrubs. 1943 could just be in that battleship gray cover. There are church graveyards. They're that cramped. Gotcha. I mean, these older graveyards, you really try to... There are animated dog assets, of course there are. You try to make use of the space that you got. This, I think I wanted to make this like a horse field, but I think I'm just going to let it lay fallow. Too much effort for the once. I might come back to it. I'll intentionally not finish it now so that I can think about it more later. Okay. So let me show something off to you guys. Now that we're here. Let me save the route. Save. Oh, and I should have saved and exited so that it doesn't crash out on me. So, let me show you guys something. Let me show you something. Alright, exit surveyor. Hopefully work. Please work. I mean, also, Orion, that's sort of what CP did with their heritage units. So, that's the right... and they look good. They look real good. So... Are you in 22? Yes. Yes, I've been on 22 since, basically since... as soon as I could, I moved over. I moved up. Because I did not want to be behind inversions anymore. Especially with doing AI. And I'm really hoping that going forward doesn't break it. Next version of Trainz. Oh, good. Awesome. Welcome to the club. 22 is pretty cool. The Surveyor, the Surveyor 2 stuff seems really cool, and I haven't quite figured any of it out yet, but I know there's like, I've learned one or two things. I've learned that copy-paste is helpful, and I've learned that, you can put down stuff. Edit for multiplayer surveyor testing. Yeah. Cool. Alright, pause. I like how it started us in map mode. Oh, now we're in the freaking woods. Hey, anyone, if you want to just look out for, like, pages posted on trees, just let me know. If you see any. Anyway, that's a joke. Okay. So, we have 3 things. Is it already moving? Did it beat me to pausing? No, not yet. We have 3 things that are automated now. We've got the trolleys. We've got, I don't know why I said them like that. We've got the trolleys. We've got this sucker, the boat train, which leaves at 6:35, so in an hour and a half. We're not waiting for it, by the way. Those curious. And we have our mogul, which is right here. Gilson Eastern Railroad 28. Excuse me. He needs a wait until command. But basically I'm just going to show you that this works. Turntable already was rotated. So he already did that. He's going to back out. He's going to clip the doors on the way out. Donk. Yep. Back onto the turntable. Yup, go on. because I'm using two of those signals, except one is over here and one is over here, instead of both of them being over here. And I kind of want to know how far I can slide that track mark before he won't touch it anymore. I think this is as far as he'll go, but if we have to slide it further for another engine, we'll give that a shot too. The 28 could use a reskin. Also, we could use the coal bunk, the coal not floating, but I think there are newer versions of this out there. And look at that, he's backing off the turntable. If you can see anything. And he's going to get to here and he's going to reset. It says drive via instead of drive to, so I don't know why he's slowing down so much. Oh, because he hasn't thrown that switch yet. But if there are any versions of this mogul out there that have ARN, that have auto running numbers already, that's the thing to look for. Alright, so he set the turntable back, or well, he set the signal back. And then he's going to go and back up to the yard lead, or the yard, the shunt track, whatever you want to call it, tail track, and then he's going to go and couple up to a caboose. That's all he does. That's all he does. So this is where we're at for AI. I've got maybe 40 minutes to make it better. And we will just be sort of winging it, hopefully using a lot of intuition in terms of, are these, hold on. These are automatic junction levers for yard switches. That's overkill. Why did I do that? Do all of them have that? Yeah. Wow. How come this, oh. There's no switch there. Uh-oh, because that's supposed to be down here. We gotta fix that at some point. So he's backing way up because that's just where the track mark is. I might be able to not use this track mark, but that is, you know, the thing with this. Just noting that the reason I said the thing about auto running numbers is because the Gilson Eastern is supposed to have 20 of these. Well, 10 of them, but this is the older, I don't know, this is the newer model. Sorry, this is the more modern version. Alright, and there's the track mark, and then he's going to go forward, and he's going to go couple up to that caboose. Next thing is, we need to know which direction is forward when he pulls in, and then we need to uncouple, and then we need to back up to this spot again, and then we need to pull forward and put this caboose on the back of this train here. And then we need to run around this train, take it back up onto the tail track again, and then pull off down the olive branch. So he's taking this switch. Like I mentioned, this could be done with a shorter maneuver, but I'm trying to give the AI as little room to think as possible. The other thing is, and the reason that my track mark list got completely out of control the first time and why we had to redo all this from scratch. Honestly, there are two reasons, one of which being the command to give a schedule at a track mark, which I thought was a huge thing that we missed and that we needed to go back and remedy that. The other thing is, I didn't understand a couple of track mark work. And that, learning that, changed the game for me. It meant that I didn't need to line up track marks perfectly. I didn't need to have a track mark every car length. All it meant, all this does is it goes and finds the closest car and lets you couple to it. So if I say, go and, so it's clear enough it's going to work. If I say right after this, go and couple to whatever the track mark is over here, which is Butler Yard North 1, it should go and find this, and we are coupled to the caboose track. Cut. So that's good. So this needs to get done. The other thing that needs to get done. This train's super cautious. Well, yeah, he doesn't want to break a knuckle. The other thing that needs to get done, or the next thing rather, is probably the freight train that's coming down from over here. And that's an easy one because it's just coming down and then parking. But it is difficult because it's really long. I mean, relatively speaking, it's a 40-car freight train, and if we were to just let it into the yard, first of all, there's not... okay, there is a way for it to get into the yard. I was underestimating myself for a second. So, it winds down the entire VMR. Takes its sweet time. It's got 5 RS3s on it, and 40 cars of trailer on flat car. It gets to the point at which it goes to double track, so it's right after this bridge. The double track starts, it runs wrong side through here, past the crossing that I never set up ATLS for and got too lazy to. We have this sign here, which is, I love that. I love that sign. Comes over this bridge and then takes this turn here. The cat and the dog just came crashing into the room, chasing each other. Into the yard, underneath the bridge. I missed my crossover. So it would have crossed over, and then it would have pulled into probably this first track. Engines would come off. They'd go to get serviced. And then we would have... Hi, Lafayette. You are a spaz tonight. Get over here. Get... Is there an easy way to remove turf effects from under splines, i.e. roads? No. Turf effects, I think you just have to use none, like this, and you should be able to mow it from underneath the road. But if you're looking for an automatic way, not that I know of. I think this would work, in my very limited understanding of turf effects. These cars are already here. They shouldn't be here. Yeah, keep mowing. And then... So, I don't think it could come over at once. You would probably have... You'd have the shunter come down from up here, or from up here, because it's a VMR thing. After those 5 engines just sort of pull in here together, they might even grab their caboose and put it like on the outside track here. And then you'd have a shunter come out of the roundhouse and go down, you know, this way, grab 10 cars, take them over here, or grab like 8 cars, or yeah, 8 times 5 is 40. So, let's see, these are long sections. You could do 4 at a time, probably, but I would probably, you know, just be easy with it and do 2 at a time. Hi, kitty. And so you put 2 in, 2 in, 2 in, 2 in, and then you'd come through and you'd take them out, take them out, take them out, take them out. And then take those cars back to over here and just repeat the same process again. Or take them and shove them into this track, which is supposed to be the storage for empty cars. Or at least that's what they're using it for. Anyway, that's what I'm thinking anyway. And then it should have that train disassembled. Let's do something precision. It should have that train disassembled and put away before the or it could pull into the arrival departure track, which is where it should pull into. But it should have that done before the Mason, the Olive Branch train gets back. Anyway, let's work on the Olive Branch train. You alright, baby? Has your fever gotten worse? Or has your fever, like, existed? You were just smoking. Um,
After you're done.
yeah, I mean, give me a half an hour, but...
It's so congested here. Like I can feel the.
I don't mean to be rude, I would be more than happy to touch your chest, but you can't put Vicks on your own chest?
I don't want to get so much of my nails.
Oh, right, that's right, you've got your murdered nails on still. Okay, we're gonna do two things. Number one is, we're gonna... See, and I was starting to get chilly. We're going to move that a little bit further and move this a little bit further. Oh, yeah, it's definitely hot outside.
I'm going to go in bed tomorrow.
Okay. I love you.
Put this in here so you don't forget to bring it. Or do you want me to take it?
I mean, no, I'll leave it right there. It's fine. I love you too. So, I don't know why I did all of these as automatic switch levers. That was kind of dumb. Where is that misplaced thing that I saw? It's right here. Here you are. Found you. It's because I messed around with the doodad. So, first things first. Edit session. Go to driver setup. Well, first of all, let's make this smaller so that I can look around if need be. That didn't help. One more thing, I want to make this, I want to get that out of the way. Oh, you know what? No. Most importantly, I want open that. Thank you. Now I can see the names of the track marks. So, edit session, driver setup. Oh, wait, no. Schedule library. Oh, right. We're doing schedule at track mark for this. It doesn't need a schedule library. Because this is going to be unique enough that we're probably not going to be repeating stuff. If I need... The schedule library is like a subroutine, you know? I don't think we're going to have any subroutines on here, not that I can think of. So, couple at track mark, and then wait for 5 seconds. This is... I cut out a lot of the extra waits, because they didn't seem to be causing any, you know, I left the one at the beginning just so I had a minute. But, wait for 5 seconds, and then uncouples from. This is where it gets a little dicey. So we're going to have to assume that forward is that way, right? So the locomotive, the train pulls up to the toll gate and he hollers and asks the man what all he had on board. And if this is forward, that means this is car 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That means we need to uncouple at 4. Wrong thing. There are 3 places where I can put in commands now. That's kind of insane. Should I be doing this in schedule library anyway? I mean, it'd be easiest to keep everything in one place and just have the schedule at track marks be fairly simple things. This is a decision point because I can replicate this now. If I decide no, I don't need to do that. schedule library. It'll have them all in one place. It will have them all in one place. I think we're going to have to go with this. We can't move the groups though, huh? I can't do like... Why did it do that? Move this to GR Northside Passenger. Is it because it was open? Add group 4. Okay, yeah, it was because it was open. Does anyone know how well Trainz 22 would perform in a Razor 3 C... I have no idea. Haven't got a freaking clue. You need people smarter than me to answer that question. People with more computer experience. Okay, so group 3, we're going to call this Olive Freight Trainz. Right? So we can also have it do more than one thing. So the thing with Olive Freight Trainz is that we could then have 2 schedules. Yeah, this makes more sense. This makes sense. Add schedule. We're going to call it OB1. This should also be called... This should be called something other than Beach Towel Special. It should be called the number of the train, but we'll have to fix that later when we start adding more. OB1. So... OLGE Roundhouse stop number 1. Bodyguard turntable. Stop number 0. Okay, so this is where we're going to start it. We're going to start it right here. Set table exit to automatic. And then we will do copy commands from insert, from library. And I usually do append, but this time I'm doing insert, and there's a reason why. Because if I end up adding a second thing to this, OB1. And I should probably standardize that too. Because this is sort of a unique case, but it's appending the commands because there are more commands after it, and I don't want it to be waiting as it loads all those commands. Runtime edit is not available for this command. Okay, I can runtime edit that one. Append commands from library, yada yada. We're going to leave that the way it is, because I don't want to mess with it. But this, append commands, because it's going to, okay. So it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different when you think your train is only going to do one thing during the day. We can't have it be like this. This one is an easy change. This one is an easy change. Copy commands. No. This is fine. This is fine. Okay. Wait, no. Okay. There's a reason. So trains are going to get new commands every time they return to an engine facility. If a locomotive's only doing one thing in a day, one set of commands in a day, then it's fine. It can be append. But if it's doing more than one set of commands in a day, then it needs to be, iMind Legacy, needs to be insert, not append. And guess what? The Beach Towel Special, the engines that go out in the morning come back in the evening. That's what we figured out last time we were playing with the timetables. The locomotives that do the southbound in the morning do the northbound in the evening, and the locomotives that do the northbound in the morning and the southbound in the evening are 2 different sets, because that set of locomotives is being serviced. But locomotives won't be serviced in... They might get fuel, but they won't go into an engine house at Meridian. Because they're just going to the port side, and they're turning the train and they're heading back. I mean, it's 12 hours, and they will get service, but they won't go into an engine house. So that's the thing. That's the thing to look out for. We need to be clairvoyant, and we need to see. I was pointing at something. Hello, comrade. Um, so this is fine. The MVTC stuff is fine because they're only doing one thing a day. The north staging, you need copy commands from insert from library beach towel special. We're gonna rename that later, but it's fine for now. So hopefully it won't slow it down too much. Yeah. Hopefully that'll be fine. It won't slow it down too much. Oh wait, was that important? Hold on. Schedule library. Because the first thing on this is the Olive North interlocking. Well, here's the easy solution. We take that command and we move it into the other thing. Schedule a track mark north staging. It is drive via GE north staging edge 2. Okay. Let's go back to schedule library. Let's go back to north side passenger. Drive via GE north staging edge 2. There we go. That solves that problem. Not that it would have mattered. It wouldn't have mattered. It didn't matter. Did not matter one little bit. Oh well, that's fine. So that's actually probably better that it's that way. So you, right? You get out to the engine servicing, which is right here, Butler Yard servicing, and then Butler Tail Track, Butler Yard North Sea. Okay, get rid of those. Navigate to, track mark, or sorry, drive to, track mark. Butler Tail Track, Butler Tail Track 1, Butler Yard North Sea. Hold on, where is it? Drive to track, or sorry, couple at track mark. GE, Butler Yard, North Sea. There it is. So those two are good. Now, the thing I need to know what it's like. Alright, so that is more than long enough for an engine and a caboose. So, continue back to here, wait for 5 seconds, that's right. Wait for 5 seconds. And then, Bowler Yard, yeah. I mean, he is, though. Uncouples from 4. We said it was 4. I think it's 4. And then drive to track mark. And I say drive to instead of drive via because we're reversing location of the track mark. We're reversing direction of the track mark. And then couple at track mark. Butler Yard North 1. And this should then couple us to that. And again, assuming it works the same way, this will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Did I count that right? So coupler 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then after the caboose is 12. Yeah. Schedule library. Wait for 5 seconds. uncouples from... There's a bigger uncouple command that lets me go all the way out to 40. And I don't know what happened to it. Oh, decouple number. Yeah, okay, well, I guess I can't go all the way to 40 because it goes off the bottom of the screen, but uncouples from. We're going to need that, by the way. What did I say? 12. I said 12. Drive to track mark. It's definitely not anything that says track mark on it. Butler Yard. Tail track 1. Right. Butler Yard, tail track 1. Now we're going to have a drive via. The drive via is going to be, let's just say Butler Yard South D. Track D. Schedule library. Okay. Drive via track mark. GE Butler Yard South D. And then drive to track mark. Butler Yard. Oops. Butler Yard South. I think that's just what it's called, right? Butler Yard South? Yes. Butler Yard South. And then Heart of Hearts. The AI commands and their symbols have basically been the same for forever and ever. And I like that because it means that some stuff is redundant, but then you get all the wacky, crazy, fun commands that I use and stuff breaks. But, you know, that's the price you pay, I guess. Butler Yard South 1, because that's the only track we have set up. And then we're going to wait for 5 seconds for the train to settle. Wait 4 or 5 seconds. And then we're going to drive to track mark. If it ain't broke, you know. We're going to drive to tail track 2, because we got to fit all the way in that tail track. And then the fun begins. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to switch 5 cars into here. Now we have a runaround track for us to do this specific maneuver. It does not have a tail track on it, so I need to add that. Invisible track BNSF 50, otherwise known as the best kind of invisible track. We need the track mark to be all the way down here with like a radius of 10. Or, wait, place it. We'll figure out the name for it in a second. But let's change this to a radius of 10. What did I use for the track mark? Because I need to have like a standard. What did I use for the track mark at the end of the tail track? Was it a 10 or was it a 5? It looks like a 10. Yeah. So we're not letting it within 20 meters of the end, which is kind of ridiculous. That's a long way. But we don't really want to trust the AI to do too much. We don't need to do too much thinking or anything that's really sketchy. Okay, standards time. Track marks, railroad, town, location, description. Okay, so it would be... Close out this window, thank you. It would be... OL... Oh, sorry, GE, OL, or OB, olive branch. GOB, description, number, direction. So OB, olive, log, long, log, transfer, run around. This is it's the freaking East End. E. Alright, so olive, log, run around, east. Okay. like how inconsistent my stuff is. Or we're gonna call it probably tail. Olive log run around tail. Olive log transfer run around tail. Or just let's just call it log transfer run around tail for the sake of it. And we need 2 track marks. We need one here. So this is going to be, yeah, olive log transfer run around. Yeah, this is going to be east. The other one's going to be west. And there's going to be one that's neither. GEOB, olive log transfer run around east. Oops. Oh, I didn't even know I could do that. I just hit enter. Log transfer run around east. Let's get this down to 10. Right? I can't see that stream chat. It's okay, nobody said anything. Whew, nobody cares. That's good. It's good to know. Minimize that. Oh, sorry. GEOB olive. Oh, sorry. Log transfer. Wow. Run around, and then it's a west. Thank you. We'll flip it around. We'll set the radius down. And then I need to just drop one in the middle. So GEOL olive. Sorry. Again. Log transfer run around, and it's just going to be called that, and it's going to have a 20 meter radius because who gives a damn. Okay, so now we need a place for it to pull out to, and I'm gonna just go with something that's on the main because that makes life so much easier. So we'll go here, and it's gonna be GEOL OB olive. Sorry, log transfer. Wow, that was a struggle. Main. I want to be able to get by, so I'm going to pull it back a little ways. And then I'm going to run them around, and then I'm going to load them on this. But we're not going to take them with us. We're going to leave them there until the end of the day. We'll take them at the end of the day. And then this needs to be switched out as well. So, what's the arrangement we've got, actually? We need to think about this. Soon, yeah, soon. So we've got... Oh, the tank cars aren't coming yet. The tank cars aren't going to be here until the end of the day. Because that's when we'll switch that a second time. Is when we have the tank car. Alright, that's it. So it's got to run around and then it's got to put it in here. Now the only issue is it needs to be able to back out onto the main line with 5 cars and clear that switch. So this needs to be much further back. We're talking like 5 cars at least further back. So let's grab some clinch. I'm gonna say we need 6 cars. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, that's good enough. So it's back there. Um, I think we can do it with just the track marks we have. Let's go through the thought exercise. Well, let me do. Can I fit the whole train in here? That's sort of the big issue. Can I fit the whole train in there? Because if I can, then I can do this. Oh, it doesn't look like it. Because we're going to be pulling from this end, which means in order to get 5 cars out of this, we've got to run around the whole train. Unless we want to build it differently, but you're going to want all these cars to be in a cut. Alright, so if I slide that in there to there, yeah, no, it does not fit in the siding. Son of a gun. Oh, it's close, though. Alright, we're going to have to do something more complicated than that. Oh, you know what? We'll just have to cut off the back 4 cars when we pull it into the siding. Yeah, okay. Send it back. Alright. Well, now we know the game plan. Schedule library. Next out to there, drives to there, and then drive to track mark, or drive via track mark. GEOB log transfer main. Sorry, no, drive to. Drive to. Drive to track mark. GEOB log transfer main. So then you're going to stop there. You're going to wait 5 seconds. Which is down here. Wait for 5 seconds. And then you're going to uncouple. Now, what car are we uncoupling from? So the engine is 0. Tender is 1, 2, 3, 4, 9. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Uncouple from 9. This is going to get annoying. Couples from 9. And then, have I been waiting after uncoupling? No, just before. Before uncoupling and after coupling. Those are my rules of thumb. Drive to track mark, log transfer run around east. Wait for 5 seconds. I know I've got to be up at 7. Ouch! Yeah, it do be like that. Have a good night. Alright, what was my next thing? Oh, we're uncoupling again. Uncouple from... Get to money. 1, because that's your tender. And then drive to track mark. Run around tail. Drive via track mark. Is there a signal to let us back out onto the main? Because that would be a problem. Log transfer main. Let's go check on that. I feel like I would be crazy enough to add a signal. I would have been crazy enough. Still crazy after all these years. Alright, I didn't. I did add a whistle post on here, which I guess makes sense, but why would I do that? Yeah, this whole branch is unsignaled, I think. Except for a... There used to be... Are there signals over here now? Yeah, the forestry entrance and exit have dwarfs on things. They also have a derailleur. That's right, I forgot about that. Because I needed that. Because stuff was acting up. Edit session. It's not the only derailleur here, too, either. drive via. Wait, no. Oh wait, sorry. I'm dumb. Uh, drive via track mark. Log transfer runaround. Oh, this is supposed to say OB. Son of a gun. OB, 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 OB. No wonder it was in a weird spot. G, OB. Is it going to update it in the thing automatically? So that would be wonderful. Listen, we will let it give it a we will let it run through while I go put the Vicks and get something to eat. So this stream is going to run long. Just brace for it. Just let me finish coding this first. Okay, no, that's incorrect. Be log transfer runaround. And then drive to track mark, log transfer main. Log transfer runaround, log transfer main. And then couple at track mark, log transfer runaround west. Wait for 5 seconds. There's a good chance it's not going to work because our uncouples aren't going to be right. Uncouples from. Let's see. If 0 is... So that's the first car, second car, third car. Drive to track mark. OB log transfer main. And then, this is the best part, drive to... Oh, we need to name the industry, don't we? Oh wait, no, we should have done that already. We should have done that already. It should be named already, because we did standards. We went through and we did all of them. OB log transload. It's also called transload. The entire time I was doing this, in my head, I was saying, shouldn't it be a transload? It's a transload, right? But then I looked at all the signals and it said, you know, transfer, and I named all my things the wrong thing. Oh my god, I'm going to kill myself. Okay, so we'll have to fix that in the future because I'm not fixing it now. Because somebody needs Vicks. Okay, drive to log transfer main, and then drive to OB log transload, and then load, and then wait for 5 seconds, and then uncouples from number 5, Burger King foot lettuce, and then drive to track mark, the main one again, track mark, log transfer main, there it is. Drive to track mark, or sorry, couple at track mark. Oh, we've got to go by. We've got to get to the front of the train again. That's right. Drive via track mark, log transfer runaround. Drive to track mark, log transfer tail track, or tail. Yep. And then couple at track mark, log transfer one of them, east. And then wait for 5 seconds. We're already at 36 commands to switch one industry. And then we're going to couple at track mark again. We're going to couple at log transfer main. And then we're going to wait 5 seconds. And that's going to be that. And that's going to be that. We will have dropped off 5 cars. Will this work? Who's to say? Anyone's effing guess. We're going to rename this to a different version of the route. Just because. This is a brand new Vicks Vapor Rub. This has never been opened before. You want to do a Vicks Vapor Rub unboxing on the stream? Look at this. Look at it. There it is. I can smell it without even opening it. The box just smells like it. Select root. This. Why do you do this now? You say default. Okay. And now we're going to see if it works, but I'm going to hang up the cape here for my camera, for my webcam. I'm going to let you guys just see the route. Product review. It sure smells like Vicks. Where did this come from? Why do I have a DoorDash coupon on my desk? When's the last time I've used DoorDash? Plus $10 delivery free with your first order. Asterisk. What is the asterisk? Offer valid through 9/30/2022. Valid only on orders with a maximum sell-total greater than $20, excluding taxes and fees. First time users only. Limit 1 per person. Alright, well. I don't know if that's just the delivery fee on the first. Alright, hold on. Hold on, let's go find it. Let's go find our man. Where is he? I don't know why it keeps assigning. Look at this. There's 2 engineers on the same train. That is just weird. You. Switch my eye to you. History's got his eyes on you. Alright, this, it might all come undone when we go and do the, when we pick up the caboose. It might just uncouple the wrong thing and we'll roll away with, you know, like 6 caboose. But, what is it, Alt F5? Oh no, it's just F5. There's no Alt involved. I didn't break my stream doing that, right? Yeah. Anyway, I'll be back. You guys tell me if this works or not. I mean, we'll know when I get back. I'll know if something's not working. It's not like I've done this before. A lot. Alright, so we're not at the part where it's broken yet. That actually didn't take too long. We're just booking it backwards. Hi, Lafayette. Is anybody here still? Hey, there's still 6 people watching this. That's pretty good. I like it when we get to a part where stuff happens. We're trying to bite off pieces that aren't larger than we can chew for just doing AI on one day. So programming the train to do one industry is pretty, I guess that's it. That took like half an hour. I mean, we had to do some other stuff in the meantime, but it did take like half an hour. And I'm gonna have to go rename everything to transload next time. We're freaking in the vicinity of doing that. Now imagine this and this stuff going by on the mainland at the same time. That is the cool part about Tolbrand to me. That the world is alive more than you just messing with it. That was the thing that made me love the Hawes branch in Trainz 2006 so much, and the reason why I got so far into AI. because that route was almost completely automated also. The thing that boggled my mind about that and made me go, well, why would you do it like this, is that the train schedules ended. You know, every train on the main line just stopped and went through, or just straight went through. But the freight trains, they did like some things, and then they stopped to let you take over. And even childhood me was like, that's stupid. Don't let me take over. Just go and, you know, do stuff. Um, Although my goal was always to pick up some coal cars and fill them up and then bring them to the coal unloader. And I don't know why, but I remember barely ever actually completing that very simple task. I don't know why. I should try that again. I mean, I don't have 06. I wonder if the Hawes branch is on the DLS. Oops, I just minimized the window. Show launch window. Manage content. Download station. That was a pretty good scenario. I liked that. I liked that scenario. Hawes Junction. Yeah, here it is. What is Hawes Junction multiplayer session? Take it easy. Hawes multiplayer mania. Thunk. I like how cautious he is, but he still thunks the hell out of it. Take the right amount of cars. Do it. Take the right amount of cars. No! Wait, why? Oh, okay. Yeah, no, it's the other way around. Alright. Ah, damn it. Okay. Alright, well, that one's wrong. Honestly, it's over time, so I'm hungry. I gotta kill it and leave. I gotta kill it and end the stream. I'm sorry, but so that means we need to cut it off at if this is considered 0 now, 0, 1, 2, so just 2. Hopefully the other predictions I have aren't going to be as hilariously wrong, but hey, we made off with 3 Capiz like I predicted. Edit session, schedule library. You uncouple from vehicle number 2. Oh wait, can I edit this? Nope. Uncouples from vehicle number 2. And then there's a good chance that this will also be wrong and the other ones will also be wrong. I thought I had a decent like strategy to figure out what was the front of the train and what wasn't. I just don't know what it considers, where it counts from 0 from. Because I know it's not always the engine, because that's screwed me up plenty of times before. Maybe it's different now. Who's to say? I guess we'll find out next week on Under Construction. Thanks for